Hi guys, and welcome to this Hangout. And this is a special Hangout that I'm doing live from Mumbai, from Google's office. And I have my Tech Mumbai friends. This is Kunal and this is Samir.
Hi guys.
So Kunal, first introduce yourself, then Samir will, then we'll start the session.
Hi guys, I'm Kunal Gangar from techticker.in. I write about technology as well as I am very much interested in writing about technology and meeting the users.
Hi guys, and welcome to this Hangout. And this is a special Hangout that I'm doing live from Mumbai, from Google's office. Yeah, sorry for that glitch, guys. Let's continue. Okay, Samir, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Samir, and I'm currently working with techineasia.com, and I've been reviewing, writing, and following technology for past 8 years. And this is fun because I've been watching Ranjit's video online, and it's nice to meet him in person and discuss a lot about technology.
Same likewise. I think so. If you guys were following my Q&A, you might have got bored by just watching me. Now we have counter arguments, so it'll be interesting. And this is not a Q&A sort of a thing. We just wanted to discuss some important topics that I always had in my mind. So the first topic that we generally wanted to discuss was broadband scenario in India and what we feel about it. I do still feel that the broadband in India in the last couple of years hasn't improved that much. Yes, there are some private players that have set a new benchmark, I could say. But again, if you look at many of the BSNL is pretty big all over India. In metros, we have MTNL. And Kunal, I guess you have an MTNL connection.
Yes,
So,
I use MTNL as my personal main
so
connection.
please share some figures or whatever so that we can get an idea.
So the thing is, I mean, MTNL is doing something, good on their part. If you see, the minimum broadband speed in India set by TRAI is like, 512 kbps. But if you visit the MTNL Mumbai's website, they have, distinguished a minimum of 2 Mbps as, broadband, and below anything you get about under 2 Mbps is like, narrowband plan.
Okay.
But the only thing which I feel, that is, very disadvantage to a consumer is the upload speed if you are on an MTNL connection.
Okay.
As a YouTube creator, I mean, we need a lot of, upload bandwidth. So the maximum on a basic plan is I can get up to 768 kbps.
Oh.
And if I, want to go for a higher upload speed, I need to pay 250 rupees extra for just 256 kbps.
So the max you're getting is 1 megabit upload.
Yeah, that's a basic plan. I mean, if you go for a higher end plan, an expensive plan.
Okay.
So even if I'm on a 4 Mbps connection or a 2 Mbps connection,
Right.
so my upload speed will be almost 50% less than what I have.
So the max upload speed that you're telling is about just 1 megabit.
1 to 2 megabytes. I mean, then it goes, above and everything. It's not really in the reach of an average consumer. You're like spending like 5K or 4K.
So what is the plan that you're using? What pricing approximately?
My plan is around 650 rupees right now. So
Okay.
it's a combo plan which you need a landline as well with it.
Obviously, yeah.
So that's I get around 768 kbps, and when I try to upload a video, it like takes ages.
And do you have on this plan, whatever that 600 rupees plan or you told, speeds up to, generally they have the FUP and whatever, or it's
No, it's a
constant
complete,
speed?
No, it's a constant sort of speed, and I don't like FPP as such.
Okay,
So,
okay, okay. So it's kind
I
of
can
an
live-
unlimited
yeah.
plan, you could say.
I can live with a slow speed, a bit of slow speed, but then I don't need any restrictions on the surfing speed.
Okay, so any ideas, Kunal, or Samir, if you have about MTNL? So this is the 650 plan. Let's say if the person has a little bit higher budget, around the 1,000 rupees mark, somewhere around. Do they have some good plans?
They do. I mean, they have around 2 Mbps, or if you go a bit higher, you have got 4 Mbps as well as 8 Mbps. In fact, MTNL is one of the operators that offer fiber to home.
Fiber to home is, but it's pretty expensive.
Exactly. I mean, they have tried to make it affordable. It starts at around, if I'm not wrong, at around 850 rupees.
Oh, that's
So, but again, you get a limited number of GB, and after that, the speed has been lowered to around 1 Mbps after the FUP.
okay.
So it's as good as using it for 5 days and then you're back to 1 Mbps.
Exactly.
So my point is, like, if you're see, I use a I'm a private ISP, so
Okay.
they give me a decent 2 Mbps speed, and my upload speeds I go to 1 Mbps. not that I upload too much of content
Fine.
in terms of video, but still my basic concern is when I'm browsing or watching an important video or something, or when I'm watching a live event like this Hangout, I don't want it to break or buffer or whatever, something like that. So that way I'm very pretty sorted, and I'm paying close to $950 for that, and there have been no glitches. Not even once I have to call up the local guy to that, hey, my connection is down and you need to do something. But there's my neighbor who uses an MTNL connection. Every second day I hear her complain that my connection is down, can you please come and have a look at it. So
quality of service
the quality of service is not there. And often I have heard and read a lot of people being very vocal online about lack of quality of service. On paper, what they offer looks brilliant, but when it comes to quality of service, that's exactly what everything boils down to. And you may have the best equipment, but if quality of service is not there, then people will be obviously unhappy with your service. In that scenario, I think the private players are doing a fantastic job.
So you told you're currently using a private something connection, around $1,000. Okay.
Yeah.
So what is the speed that you get, or FUP, or what is it?
See, for now, the FUP, he doesn't really tell me what's FUP. He says that you can use as much as you want.
Oh,
it's a pack-based
limit, I would.
There's a soft limit. So the thing is, I don't download too much, so I don't never hit the FUP per se. The theoretical, it is around 120 GB, but I never download that much or never browse that much. It comes to that. So the max I've come closer to 110.
110 GB is good amount of data.
So that is good amount of data. So that's the closest I have come to, and it's like
that's a good price for 2 megabit, I would say.
That's the thing. The only thing is that it's very restrictive in terms of area, because he's a private player. He's not spread out a lot. So he's very limited in terms of reach. So that's one thing. So I can't recommend it to my friend who lives like 5 suburbs away.
So according to you, the private players are doing a better job than these, let's say, MTNL, right?
Yeah.
And do we have Hathway and all those players in Mumbai?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I heard they do offer some high-speed connection. I'll just talk about my connection that I use in Hyderabad. But before that, I just want to.
Hathway also has a very strong network in the central Bombay and in the new Bombay, around those areas. But still, people prefer switching between Hathway and all, because the frequent downtimes during business hours or the working hours is not really something which everyone is like happy about. And I'm talking about consumers, like who are at home and who want to watch live TV, or they want to stream some content and all.
A person like me requires a high-speed connection. I don't think so, Kunal.
Yeah.
The amount of 2 megabit I like.
Yeah,
I need at least 4 megabit for my needs. I'm spoiled because my ISP is really good in Hyderabad. I'll talk about it. So still, what you're telling is about a megabit speed or 2 megabit speed MTNL. Even your private operator, at least what you're just getting about 2 megabit for $1,000.
Yeah,
I feel that's still on the expensive side.
I still feel
for broadband.
Yeah. See, the thing is, the TRAI has defined broadband very differently than which has been perceived in the eastern side of the geography, and then the western side of the geography. What broadband means to them is so totally different.
In US, I think so. They say 4 megabit or below, they don't consider it as a broadband. But here, it's like very different in India.
Yeah.
And that 512 is the FUP speed. Yeah, the problem I have with many of the operators is the stupid FUP. For example, let's talk about. I did take some figures from BSNL, because BSNL is the biggest all over India. They have the highest reach. And small towns everywhere. And I have some figures for the unlimited plans that they have. I think so. The cheapest unlimited plan they have is about 545 rupees, and they give 512 kilobits flat, up and down.
That's unlimited.
So let me just tell you there. Hathway has similar plan, 525, and they give you 520 Mbps.
Same. Okay. Same.
So almost same.
Par with the competition there.
Yeah.
It's par, but you're not raising the benchmark. It's very, very slow.
Yes.
We are in 2014. I've been seeing these figures from past 4 years. Nothing is improving.
Until the government or the TRAI, which is a regulating body,
Yeah.
doesn't do anything about it, these guys won't push forward.
Yeah, because today we have video,
Also,
this and that. It's not just text that people are consuming.
Also, a lot of people don't know that at times the connection which they promise you, that is like it's 1 Mbps and
Up to.
it's up to, and also it's shared amongst certain users in that area. So that also plays a very important role when you're choosing an ISP, and how much of ratio is going to get shared among the other users.
That's true.
So when you choose like a lower plan, expect 520 kbps for initially, and then it might go down depending how many people are joining it, you know, and that might.
Other plan that the BSNL had, I would say, I was talking about the popular pricing, 500, I told you it's 512. From their website, they have another plan, they call it unlimited, it's for $9.99, and it's a 4 megabit plan, but that 4 megabit speed is only up to 8 GB. After 8 GB, they say it's 512 kilobytes.
Really?
No, I'm telling you the figures, okay? For $1,000 you're getting this, but if you up your budget a little bit, for 12575, almost $1,300, it's again 4 megabit, but up to 20 GB.
Okay.
And thereafter, it's 512 kilobytes. So I still feel these plans are a little bit more expensive. I think the 500 rupees is the factor which many people will be very comfortable. Okay, you are a techie or an enthusiast, you might spend over $1,000 or whatnot. But still, at this.
So I mean, if you are on MTNL as well, they have a 500 rupees plan. So around, it's called the bullet plans. This they have introduced just recently, and it has an FUP about like 11 GB. If you pay more, you get more number of free data, more GB of free data.
My thing is, with all these government things, the FUPs, what they have, the limits are ridiculous.
True.
If you consume content like YouTube and stuff like that, what is that 8 GB and whatnot? Okay, let me talk about, these were the BSNL and the MTNL. Let me talk about Hyderabad. We have a fabulous provider called Beam Fiber. I use that, and this ISP has almost now, I don't know, about 4 odd years ago they started or not, something. It's been, nobody takes a BSNL connection over there. MTNL they don't have. They have vibrant. I'll tell you the plans. Their basic plan is, they start with 600 rupees. That's a 4 megabit plan.
Wow.
Okay, forget about that. Let's talk about 1,000 rupees plan. 1,000 rupees plan, 15 megabit speed, 60 GB, up to 60 GB, it is 15 megabit. If you cross that 60 GB, and uploads are not counted in the 60 GB.
That's a big thing.
Yeah, that's a big thing.
All others are counting your uploads also.
Yes.
So 60 GB pure download, upload you can do whatever. And after, if you cross that 60 GB, your FUP is 2 megabit.
Still, you have
decent unlimited connection, and you get the same upload and the download speed. So initially you're getting even that 15 megabit upload speed. I am on a slightly higher plan because I'm a YouTuber. I'm in the 2,500 rupees plan plus tax, whatever. That's a 50 megabit plan, up and down. And I get that speed. It's not just theoretical. In fact, get about 55 megabit.
So I mean, Hathaway also has their 50 Mbps plan.
Yes.
So
but this guy, at least they are able to maintain what they promise. I get those speeds, and it's up to 100 GB. Fine, FUP. But if I cross that FUP, I get downgraded to 6 megabit, which is again unlimited, and that's a good enough speed. I think. So my question is, what do you think? These private players are doing a better job than what the government should have done.
ISPs, yes.
So I do hope that situation changes. And again, I would like to know in the comments, just post what broadband plan you are using and what's your experience. So we'll check the comments later on. Definitely, and we'll get an idea.
So Ranjit, what do you think? What is like the basic, the minimum amount one should look at to have a good ISP experience, the good browsing and everything? Is 1,000 rupees good enough?
I would say at 1,000 rupees, if you consume YouTube and stuff like that, okay, high demand bandwidth things. Yeah. I think so in 1,000 rupees, you should be able to get good connection, yeah. Because with the basic plans that you're getting 500 rupees or whatever, if you consume video and all those things, your experience will be so bad that you won't even do it. True. So I just hope that the situation improves, because this broadband scenario is continuing like this for the last couple of years. We haven't seen major, boost or data caps improving or whatever. In fact, they have been getting worse FUP limits.
Yes. I agree.
And I do hope that it changes, and let me know, guys, if you agree with me or not.
Yes, absolutely.
So let's move to the next topic, and that is about smartphones. And I just wanted to take a very casual discussion with Kunal and Samir. As we are seeing a trend that the PCs have seen, I have experienced that PCs used to evolve a lot. But lately, if you have seen, there is not a huge bump if you move from one generation to the other. And even if you talk about the smartphones, the latest ones, the iPhone 6, the Note 4, whatnot, these latest smartphones are pretty powerful. What do you guys think in 2015? Are we going to see a major improvement in some sort of a technology with the smartphones, or do you think this is going to be a slow decline like what we have in the PC industry? There's no reason to upgrade every year your PC right now.
True. So I mean, Ranjit defined, major improvement.
Yeah.
So
Because
I mean, during
even I agree that 2014 we didn't see any radical must-have improvement.
Actually,
right?
yes. So I mean, back in 2006 and 7, we were using like what Blackberries as well
Blackberries.
as the Symbian devices,
Yeah.
and those were like clunky devices. But then iPhone came in and it
But
brought
touch
in the
revolution
aesthetics.
work,
It
yeah.
brought the aesthetics. It brought the the form factor as well as function. It had beauty and brains. So after a point of time, the technology advancement has been so fast that
So
people
rapid, yeah.
it's like people are like, I feel that they're bored. Oh, so and so company has come out with a new model. Okay. So that's the thing. I mean, I don't see if you have bought a phone right now in 2014. I don't see anything substantial. That will lure you to buy in something in 2015 unless it's something has breakthrough.
So
So in terms of usage, let me tell you that back in last decade, we used to have a PC or a laptop at least for 2-3 years. Okay, same thing with for phones. We used to use it at least for 2-3 years. But comparing that situation with what is happening in at least this year, what has happened is there's so many models launching with slight distinction between them. Users are like prone to try out something or the other, and also their shelf life is kind of being brought down like drastically from 2-3 years to 1 year.
I've seen a
Everyone
lot of
knows that
people
shelf life-
upgrading every year. The smartphone.
Every year, yeah. So every year, if you see a different smartphone, you really can't expect consumers to stick to one model, or then also that experience is also not a drastic, like change. Oh wow, it just changed my life. It's better, it's faster, it's quicker. It's not life changing
It's
or
not-
game changing. Right?
Now, faster also, if we talk, Samir, if you take the top end handsets,
Yeah.
let's even take Note 4 is supposed to be the pretty fast. It has the Snapdragon 805, the fastest chipset, sort of.
So
But if you even take one generation down, that's the Snapdragon 801,
801.
and that, what do you say, Motorola Moto X2 and the leading HTC One, they were very fast phones. No lagginess or nothing like that.
Yeah.
So it's not that if you go for the latest one, there's going to be huge performance perceivable difference that you might see, according to me.
I mean, under the hood, I mean, there are a lot of differences, but for an average consumer,
It doesn't
might
make
not
it. See,
actually.
I'm opening a web page, some couple of milliseconds
Yeah.
faster. I'm not even going to notice it. And what do you get? The biggest thing that was a hype this year in 2014, according to me, was the Quad HD displays. What do you think about
see,
it?
let me tell you in a very famous analogy. Quad HD display is something what everyone deserves but doesn't really need right now. It's very close to what has been said in the Batman movies. It's good to hear and see, but do we really need a Quad HD display? Because if you look at it in terms of cost, it costs like
A lot.
twice than what an average phone should cost. In terms
Battery
of
life it affects.
Battery life it affects, and also, God forbid, if you happen to crack a Quad HD display,
It's going to be expensive.
have a good time, finding a replacement.
Finding
So,
out, yes.
yeah, so these are three very key pain points affecting the Quad HD display right now. So I believe
I felt okay. I have used phones with 1080p panels. I've used the LG G3, which had the Quad HD display. Now even the Note, at a certain point, okay, I feel above 5.5 inches or something, but still I don't see a perceptible difference unless I look like this.
Exactly.
Who's going to use the phone like this?
Yes.
Now it's becoming just marketing hype. So I don't see, at least in 2015, next year also, no breakthrough technology as of now that we know that we might see. So it's just the hype these companies are creating and people are buying, according to me, because current generation of smartphones are pretty good.
pretty good.
As a manufacturer, you need something to sell, right? And as you said, is something marketable. So obviously, I mean, for the time being, if there is no size difference or anything like that, I mean, what has been on a 5-inch screen or a 5.5-inch screen is useless for me, at least for me.
It's a battery hog as of now, and I feel it's sort of a gimmick.
I'm on the
Good
same
enough.
lines,
Good
actually.
enough. 1080p is good enough.
Yes.
Good enough.
I mean,
So,
our full
2
HD
years ago, I was having this discussion with one of the leading manufacturers, product guy. He said, like, what if we had a higher resolution on our? I say, see, it sounds good and really amazing on the paper. And when you're talking to someone who's really enthusiastic in technology, but you pick up an average person and his consumption pattern, do you think he would be really happy with Quad HD? Because he really wouldn't know how much of content he is consuming and what quality of content he is consuming. Obviously, just pushing Quad HD is not enough. There is a lot of work, which goes behind to make that content.
It's amazing to have a Quad HD on
phone.
this as a technological
Yeah.
product, but does it make a difference in actual usage? You don't perceive it.
You don't perceive that. The difference is very
I
mild.
feel technological improvements should be visible. That makes a difference.
Exactly.
Just doing for the heck of it.
No, that's. I really don't agree with that.
So, anyways, these were our thoughts about the smartphone, and I do think that now we won't see major improvements that we were seeing in the last.
I think one major improvements which we might be able to see is something which is related to the battery technology, which Samsung has done something which is like the mode where you can conserve the battery. Qualcomm has implemented in the chipsets that you can quickly charge your phones and all. But still, our lives still revolve around finding the charging socket and charging a phone. So if there's something where you can balance out, how often you could charge your phone, or
that's still a very big pain point.
That's really a big pain point, especially when you're using a phone and when you're obviously on the move all the time. So when it comes to portability and mobility, they really have to figure out that instead of focusing on how a big screen or
how many more
pixel density or whatever. Instead of that, if they focus on that, I feel a lot of consumers would be really happy. And not only happy, they'll pay for it. As simple as that.
So they are paying for it. You have the power banks right now.
Yeah, you have the power banks.
It's become common. That's the common thing I've seen in the last 1 year. Many of my friends carrying a small power bank. That's a common thing.
So, talking about power banks, what do you think about the things which rolls around the wrist, the wearables? I see you are also
wearing smartwatches. Okay.
Yeah.
So this year was the year of the smartwatch. We can say we saw a lot of an Android Wear did come, and I'm using the Moto 360. That one's Android Wear, and I've been using it for about 40 odd days. To be very frank, it's a nice accessory.
Yeah.
A pricey, nice accessory. I might add, it's pricey.
Interesting.
And but yeah, you get your notifications on your wrist, so that way I don't have to pick up my phone. For example, I just got one, and you guys didn't even know. I just glanced at it and I swiped it away.
Okay.
For that, it's great, but there's no killer app as of now that it's a must buy for me.
Okay.
As a technologist, okay, I got it, I'm using it. But right now, I still feel it's a first generation product.
Okay.
Battery life, you got to charge it at night. It works fine. The Moto 360, many people are asking me about the battery life. It lasts for a working day, I would say. If you take it out from the charger at 7 o'clock in the morning, even till night 12 o'clock, it is there, 15% over. So that's fine, but you got to charge it every day. Okay. There are a lot of pain points. Android Wear, I still feel the functionality what we have, it can be improved a lot. So these are first generation products, and the thing is, there is no killer app. If I forget I give this analogy. If I forget my smartphone, I'll just go back to my house to get it. I can't live without it. That's not the case with this. That's okay. That's and I've done this. I forgot my watch, but I didn't go back to get it.
So, but don't you think after Apple launches their watch, so the scenario, the market will completely change for the wearables?
See, to be very honest, when Apple does or whatever the watch companies they come out with the watch, it's going to be still a luxury segment product. Yeah. This is still placed as a luxury segment. It is not necessity as of now. They are still in their first generation. They are trying to figure out how to make it a necessity. What happened with a lot of phones and all that, like how power bank has become a necessity right now. Everyone is carrying it. Why is smartwatch not becoming a necessity?
There's no what do you say killer app that.
See, it adds value.
It does,
but not to everyone. Yeah. When it adds value to a lot of people, then it makes sense.
And the pricing also has to be sane. It's on the very high side. This is a new technology.
It's a new technology. A lot of people are working on it to make it as cost effective as possible. But then at the end of the day, I also don't want a cheap smartwatch which stops working at the end of the halfway when I really need it the most. I would rather pay for a little more for something which is premium. It adds a lot of value to my productivity, to my lifestyle, to everything. Then like do something like that. So I think
I'm like a little bit positive on this, Samir, and I'm hoping maybe in 2015 these are first gen products.
Yeah, these are first gen, absolutely.
We'll get better products, and even the OSs that they use, they'll add a lot more functionality. Okay. Sorry for that glitch. Okay. So smartwatches. That was the smartwatches. So we have a few viewers. We have Ashik Sheikh. We have Manav, and we have Mir, and this is Praveen. Let me just unmute you.
Hello.
Hello. Who is this?
Hello. Yeah, this is me.
Mihir. So anything you wanted to ask or something about the topics that we were talking today?
No, but first, can you just? I need to like. I need to think. Can you ask others first?
Yeah, sure.
Alright, we'll come back to you.
We'll come back.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Ashik Sheikh, are you there?
Yep, I am there.
Yeah, do you have any questions for us?
You guys were talking about broadbands. I think the local SP are doing better job than the companies like MTNL, Airtel. Because I have an internet called Smart DNA. They provide 2 Mbps speed, but I get 90 Mbps on Google server.
Whoa, that's amazing.
So
How much do you pay for that? How much do you pay?
900 rupees, 3 Mbps connection.
Which is very good.
Very
In fact,
decent,
yeah, pretty decent.
Yeah, just search for it. Smart DNA. They provide that 30 Mbps, but they give 90 Mbps.
That's amazing.
That is amazing. Where do you stay?
Mumbai,
Oh,
Vadala.
Anyways, thanks Ashik for that. So looks again, as I was telling you, it's the same scenario. Private players are taking the initiative, and if these can do it, not a question of it cannot be done, right?
there has to be some like at least be competitive, if not go ahead, but at least be competitive with these private players and provide something that makes a consumer, informed consumer, think that yeah, I should actually go for this. Let me just try out with BSNL. They actually, otherwise it's a clear difference. You can see that what is being offered to me from MTNL, BSNL is slightly inferior than the experience which I'm getting from that.
Because see, I'm a little bit pushing towards MTN and BSNL because these are the biggest.
Yeah, I totally
and
agree.
these will 95% reach. These people have it. These private players can do only so much.
Yep.
So we just hope that the situation
Until
changes.
as these are the government enterprises. Until
Serious.
as government or try does not push them, we won't see any innovation from them.
So let's see. Mihir is there. Sorry, can we unmute?
Yeah. Just to say, yeah. So
Yeah.
what I was saying is the MTNL. What happens with MTNL is they give you the speed which you pay for, but what like Manav, he has a finite connection, and he I think pays 650. You can ask him, and he gets like I don't know 5 or 6 Mbps, like not in download speeds. In download speeds, he gets 6 Mbps. Same thing. If you the MTN's customer service is also very bad. If you call them and you tell them your net is not working, they will call you. They will not give a solution. They will call you after like 15 minutes and say, "Is your connection working? Not working? Okay, they'll cut the call." After 5 minutes again, you'll get the call. Is your connection working? Not working? Cut the call. That keeps on continuing. You have to live with it. You have to learn to live with it. This is the same thing. Thank you.
The customers are good again.
Yeah,
Like I said,
I've
quality of
experienced that,
service.
so yeah, I know
Quality
that. What
of
he's
service
talking
is
about.
Okay, anything else quickly, if you have, or
No, thank you. Yeah, that is okay.
let's do Praveen. One sec. Hi, Praveen.
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hi.
Yeah.
Kiranjit, I am your very big fan. I watch all your videos.
Thanks.
I want to ask, yeah. I want to ask you a question. We are increasing in mobile phones, in smartphones. We are increasing in every bit, like in RAMs, in screen, in battery, in 3G, 4G. So when will it stop? Like when will we get the dream smartphone and we don't need any more things like that? Like in the laptops, we have i3 and we are satisfied with that.
Okay.
We are
But
reaching.
in smartphone, it's going bigger and bigger.
So that's why.
Now a Nexus 6
Okay.
with 6-inch and tablet. So there is no wall between the tablet and the mobile phones. So what we are going to do now?
Very interesting. Now there's an era of modular smartphones where you can build your own smartphones like you build your own PCs. I think that's the
That's
next big thing which is going to happen in mobile technology. Like if you are not buying into that large scale and small scale kind of thing, you can build your own smartphone and which you are comfortable
the
with.
project Aura.
Yeah.
The problem right now is you buy an expensive phone. Let's say you want to just upgrade something, you have to buy a full new phone. So we are hoping that is if it is possible in the next wave, in the next couple of years, that'll be a breakthrough in the smartphone.
And since I think Google is backing this, I think we
Mine.
are very hopeful for that.
We are very hopeful. And the thing, as you told, we have discussed, even today's generation of high-end smartphones are pretty powerful.
Yeah.
It's not like they are not that powerful, and the next generation of phones will be a small incremental upgrade. It's not going to be a very huge upgrade. And I just hope that the craze in this it stops. Already 6 inches is like going. I don't know. You call it a phablet, tablet. I don't know. What's the distinction between a phablet and a tablet? I'm confused now.
It's actually a hybrid, but then every device right now is a hybrid.
Actually.
So I think so. I hope we are able to answer it. We'll just move to the other questions, Praveen. Okay. Thanks for joining us. Okay, we have some user questions. Shall we just take a few of them?
Sure.
Okay, let's just select that. Okay, see, this is what by Rohit. He's making an interesting point. I'll just put this question here. He's saying, you guys are right. We don't need quad HD displays. We need better technology and innovation. Yeah, I think so. All of us agree about that. Tangible improvements.
Yeah.
Battery life, as you told, is a real improvement that will make an effect.
So the thing is, even consumers are well informed about the fact that it's not that innovation in one area works independently. It is co-dependent on other aspects as well, like processing and battery. So it's just pushing a quad HD doesn't make as much sense right now, where you're not advancing in key areas like processing and battery.
Battery life.
So they are quite well informed like this. So I kind of agree with them.
Okay, let me just select question. Do you have any idea about Moto Max? Rohan is asking. I have no idea about this.
I have no clue.
Price. Are they going to officially launch in India? I'm like not very sure about it. Kunal, what do you think?
They haven't officially commented on that,
so I'm not very sure.
We will skip that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, let's take this question. This question by Kalyan Cherry. He says, do Android mobiles need antivirus? Is it mandatory? If necessary, which one is the best antivirus? And what would you recommend for Android, KitKat or Lollipop? He's using a Moto X 2nd generation. Okay. So, do you think like it's mandatory to have an antivirus on an Android device?
I'll tell you a very interesting thing. Back when antiviruses for PCs, they were very prevalent and everyone was pushing that our antivirus is best. So I used a computer without antivirus for a year.
Yeah, it's how you use your computer.
It's
Don't
how you
download stuff.
Exactly. So same goes with the phone. What you do with it defines, like what you can expect from that. Okay, if you are someone who's really enthusiastic about what is new coming out and you want to test it out, you are very interested in trying out different applications, but you're not sure about the sources where you're getting other than the official sources like Google Play Store.
Yeah, I would
then
say
we would really recommend you use antivirus. But the only pitfall will be like just how it happens on PC.
A little bit of performance.
They continue to scan your system and all. There'll be performance.
Small hit in the performance.
So there'll be a small, demerit on that side. But then again, if you're concerned about security, please do use antivirus.
Personally, I would say I don't use it on any of my phones
because
But I stick to Google Play Store on Android. Simple. Yes. But if I would have been side loading stuff from left and right, getting APKs, then definitely.
Obviously, then you so I have two devices. One is on which there is an antivirus because I do get certain third-party apps and they want me to
test it out or
whatever. So on that I have a different account set up and all. Nothing else is linked. Only just the account is set up and just test out whether it works or not. That's it. For that I have to use antivirus because at the end of the day, I don't want my phone to crash and I don't want to spend days figuring out what went wrong. Okay.
So again, if you are sticking with the official sources like Play Store and only download stuff from that, I don't think so it's necessary. But again, yeah, if you sideload stuff from other sources, it's a good idea to get it, right? Kunal, you agree with that? Thanks. So let's take this question. This is by Ramtej Durga. He says, Rajit, was it the best OnePlus One or the LG G3? I've used both the devices, but before I say my experience, Kunal, what do you think?
I haven't used the OnePlus One, so
Okay.
LG G3 has been a good device for LG. I mean, they have really improved it from the G2, and since we were on the topic of Quad HD, and still I feel it's a gimmick. But then some of the features on the LG G3 were something you can use every day, just like you have the buttons at the
Back
back.
button, yeah, I liked it. Knock on
Exactly,
feature
yes.
was that
There's
it was
knock
very
on, there's
convenient.
passcode and everything. So there are some features on the LG G3 that are useful, but then obviously each and every user's mileage.
The
is
user
different.
scenario changes per user.
So
per
you
user.
have you used the LG G3 and the
Yeah,
OnePlus One?
I've used OnePlus One for like a very brief time because
Okay.
it was a lone device and all. What I really found interesting was how they give it a treatment, like a different design treatment using
Very
sensor
nice.
and all. Also,
I think
found-
the biggest advantage I liked about the OnePlus One
Yeah.
was the crazy battery life, incredible battery life.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly. So battery life was one thing which I was really excited about, but then again there were certain very annoying issues. Which
There were a
existing.
lot of issues when it was launched earlier, cyanogen
Yes.
issues. Now it has solved a lot of
So
issues.
probably I tested out when it was just launched.
Oh,
and everyone
it was a very bad time. Lot of
so
bugs.
probably it was bad time. I probably should pick up one of them. And
Well, I
check
just
out-
tested it last 1 week. I have it. I'm actually my review process is going on. It's still
Okay.
in the last week I was using it, and all the bugs that you were talking. No, such a fluid device now.
Okay.
It's almost as fluid as a Nexus device. But again, it has because it has Cyanogen mod. You have a lot of customization that's not available on the stock. You can get the amount of customization it offers is incredible. And to be frank, I've used the LG G3 also, and I used that as a primary phone for about 2 odd months. So very used to it. I didn't like the LG G3 because of the Quad HD screen
Okay.
because of that thing.
The battery life was taking a
Battery
hit.
was taking a hit, and it used to lag sometimes.
Okay.
Just for the marketing thing, it would have been one of the best phones for this year. Just because of the Quad HD screen, the entire performance went down.
See, that's the chance they took, and now they know. I hope they'll do
I
something.
hope,
in the
I mean,
next
they are the
generation.
first ones to roll out Android
Yeah.
Lollipop. So
Yeah.
So yeah, I hope. But between these two, and considering the price point and everything, OnePlus One, if it officially
no-brainer.
launches in India,
So I think-
go for the OnePlus One. I would
It's
say.
a good overall package.
Yeah.
It's a good overall package.
But again,
and
only
everything.
buy it officially when it launches in India.
Yeah.
Because
Yes.
if you get it from outside or whatnot, you won't get warranty and stuff.
Yeah.
So I think so. All of us agree on that.
Yeah. all of us
Okay,
agree.
that's nice. Let's
Let's
move to
move
the
to the next
next. Let's privacy issues again. This is sort of a security thing. Let's talk about it. This is by Rituraj. He says, I would like to know, is there any privacy issues with OnePlus One devices and the Mi 3? Also, which one is better? I think it's the Galaxy Alpha or the LG G3, or should I wait for the OnePlus One? A very interesting question. So, Kunal, you want to start? Then you give your opinion.
I'll let Kunal take.
So
Sure.
I mean, for the privacy issue, it's really, as Ranjit said, it's a touchy issue. And if as a manufacturer I knew what you were doing, so obviously you wouldn't buy my products. That's the same thing. And with Xiaomi, we got the Mi 3. There was
And then they have the mini
big-
UI. It's a very
exactly.
heavy skin.
yeah, it's a heavy skin,
It's
but
sort of a mini OS, not even a skin. It's so deeply
Yeah.
integrated.
so if you're considering about privacy, I don't think any manufacturer would want to track you until unless it's from the government organization or whatnot. But then my opinion is like they are not doing it, and you should be completely free from that. And
They had some
Yeah.
servers in China.
so they were sending some data like for Mi Cloud or their
Yeah,
service.
they were
So
doing that.
it was like just sending bits and bytes, but it was not trying to spy on you. If that was your
So I'll take something on that. When they talk about Mi 3 or company like Xiaomi, so I've been talking to their executives and like on and off and reading a lot about them, what they've been posting. So essentially, what happens is when you introduce a new service and all, obviously you are interested to know how consumers are using it, what they want to do with it. Now there is no other way than to have the data coming directly to you, then let it go to third party. Obviously, you are more interested because you made that product. You want to improve it. Now,
Yeah, but
okay.
that
so-
data, what kind of information is
yeah,
getting?
so that is not transparent.
Yeah.
That wasn't transparent, and obviously it's not possible for every company to say that this is what you are taking. if there is some,
There was a rumor. It's not
Yeah, it
known.
was a
They were
rumor.
uploading the entire contact
No,
address
that-
book or
yeah.
something.
So
Again, I
there are
say
a
it's
lot
a
of
rumors.
apps.
Yeah,
Let
that's
me
what.
be very honest. There are a lot of apps which ask for certain permissions, and there are a
Yes.
lot of services which take
Yeah,
your
obviously,
contact without you knowing that. So what about them? Why target one company which
Yeah,
is being so
sure,
open
sure.
and vocal about it? That is my point of view. Other thing, there are point of time where the company who makes a phone, they take some data, but that is data purely on how you use your phone, not on what you have on your phone. Okay. So they want to improve, like why you're not using certain applications, or why you're not using
Or it's
using
crashing,
certain
why is
function.
it
Why
every
is
time
happening
crashing or something?
or what has faced the majority of issue. So they take that data. They don't take any data which you input or which is related to you. So no personally identifiable data is usually taken, or none of your personal data is taken. Only the data which surrounds on what the operating system is, how it functions, or where it lacks to function. Only that data.
Okay,
is
I'll
taken.
take a very controversial question on this. Okay,
Please do.
So, will you use the Xiaomi Mi 3 or whatever they said? Let's say Mi 3 as your personal device
Of
only.
course, I'll use it.
So you
I
have.
have used
So
it,
that means
yes.
you have no qualms about the privacy issues,
I
right?
don't know.
Not at all.
See, so that gives you the answers, guys.
Yeah.
So just don't be too paranoid about it, and and you should be careful about the apps that you install.
Absolutely.
That's more
That is
important.
more important than using a device.
Because
Actually,
these days
if
we
you-
just hit install. We don't even read what kind of apps. They clearly say this is going to upload this, that, but
Yeah.
we don't read that.
See, that's a problem. People don't read privacy policy in terms of conditions where, where the platform makers, they're being very clear to the developers that you need to disclose this. But if people don't read them, there's nothing the platform developers or the developers can do much about it. Like if you tell them that you're going to hit the, hit the tree, if you don't follow that, then obviously you're going to hit the tree. As
If
simple
you
as that.
if you have used any Xiaomi devices, I mean they have their trust manager as well. You can deny or
Yeah, they have a what do you say firewall sort of a thing.
yeah. So they actually give you more options,
They do,
customizable
yeah.
options than if you see
That way, I like the OnePlus one also. It did
Yes.
have a lot of privacy
Yes.
options built in, and I would say between both, if you like the stock experience and the look and feel, OnePlus one might be a better because the MIUI is actually very different.
There's a bit of
See, it's
learning
more
curve
for
involved in it.
I still feel that
and it's a little bit heavy. I feel the MIUI.
it's more for the power users who know how
that's
they
it.
way around phones and all. And OnePlus One could be for someone who's very enthusiastic, doesn't want to spend too much time doing.
Already,
stuff.
Cyanogen gives so many options. You can
Yeah,
customize
exactly.
whatever you want.
But someone who really wants to enjoy Android without putting their head and being neck deep around, like what more can I do? And simply use a Nexus device or
Obviously.
a stock experience.
So
And that would be like very as pleasant and simple as that.
So I think so this will be the last question because it's already about 40 odd minutes.
Yep.
Let's quickly just take this one. And this is by Shayub. And he says, he's asking us, is it worth upgrading from an iPhone 4 to first choice? He gives us is Moto G second generation. Or second, he says, please suggest me any other phone other than Xiaomi and Asus.
So I'll give one advice to the consumers that if you have a phone which is like a 2-3 generations old,
iPhone 4, yeah. I would
old.
say
First of all,
Moto G
support
is a big
dropped.
upgrade, yeah.
Support is dropped. Also, evaluate what you want to do with your device. If you want to use it for the same amount of time, buy a device which is recent in the market, which has a support for at least 18 months or 2 years. Buy a device, something like that. Don't settle for something which can be which may have no foreseeable future in terms of software updates. Because again, you'll be stuck with a subpar experience. You won't be able to enjoy a lot of it, and it will again have a lot of issues, battery issues, which may or may not get fixed. Performance issues and all.
So I guess on that front, I mean, Motorola has been pretty good.
Pretty good with
on the
updates, yeah.
software
pretty quick.
updates and everything.
Yeah.
We are going to get the Android L update even for the Moto
Yes.
G now,
Yeah.
officially in India. It's going to come out soon, guys. Don't know the time frame, please.
Yes.
Motorola hasn't disclosed to us, but
Yeah.
it's coming very soon. So yes, I do feel from iPhone 4, it's a pretty decent.
Pretty decent update, and at some point of time you need to try out different platforms rather than being restrictive and being biased, like no, I like this, and we should be open to trying out different platforms. How would you know what they do and what they can do without trying it out?
So I think so, guys. We'll wrap it up. It's almost 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And I just want to, and I want to thank all of you who have joined us. And
Yes.
this we did in a different time, not the regular schedule. So I'm thankful. And I want to thank Kunal
Thanks a lot
And
Vijay,
again,
for having
Samir
us.
also
Thanks,
for
Samir.
giving their insights.
Yep.
And so it was great. And again, next week we do it on a regular time. That's 7 p.m. on Tuesday. So thank you. This is
Thanks,
Ranjit
guys.
and Kunal and Samir signing
Thanks,
out.
guys.
Bye,
Bye.
guys.